Hey y'all, welcome to Shine Creative Club. I'm Cicely Renee, and we are going to be crafting. You're going to need a cardstock piece of paper. You're going to need some glue. You're going to need some paper and lots of it, as well as a scissors. But let's talk about this paper, okay? So I make my own creative paper. I also buy paper that's already pre-printed. And so you're going to need a lot of different colors. And so you can make your own, or at the Hobby Lobby or craft shop, you can grab some printed paper. So these are the ones that I created, and I just used acrylic paint and printer paper. And so I just went to town. I colored one sheet and kept on moving, and I made sure I added a lot of texture. So like scraping your paint with a card or scissors or a fork or whatever you want to use to give it some texture. Be as creative as you would like. I would mix colors. I would use one color. The patterns are really cool. And you can do whatever you would like to do. It is a lot of fun actually making these papers. Maybe I'll make a video showing you how I do it, but I'm sure there's many videos out there that you can search for and find as well. But I use different stamps as well to give it that texture. And there's a lot of paper here, as you can see. One of my favorite ways to make this paper is called squeegee art. So you get your paper, you get your acrylic paints, and you put little dots on there and get your squeegee and just squeegee it across the page. And voila, it's so beautiful. So you're going to want to find colors that really interest you. And I would say pick about like 7 to 10 different patterns and colors. And if you want to do more, that is cool. So the next step that we are going to do is find our pages and begin to rip them. So we are doing collage. And collage can be any type of way. And so we're just going to start by tearing all these pages and collecting a pile of papers to use for our collage. And the thing is, they are not supposed to be perfect. We want big sizes, we want small. I love torn edges. It can be skinny, it can be chunky, it can be long, it can be short. So we want a variety of sizes and shapes. So be very creative. Don't feel like there's a right way or a wrong way. It is your way, and that way is awesome. So let's go ahead and speed this up. You can see I am just going through all my pages, finding a variety of different colors and textures and patterns. And I'm grabbing ones that just really speak to me, and so really enjoy this process as well. All right, so now that we have our pile of ripped papers with a lot of different colors, you're going to get your glue stick. And we're going to start putting this on our page. We're going to fill up the entire page. There should be no background showing, okay? So it can be in long strips. It can be in chunks. It doesn't matter how you put it on there, but I would say kind of make it, colorful. Like maybe keeping all the blues separate and the reds and the oranges, kind of like make it a variety. However, keeping the same colors close by would be really amazing too. So ultimately, it is up to you, but I would encourage you to fill up the entire page with your ripped and torn papers. And one thing that I love about collage is all about layering and stacking. So kind of like when you have a paintbrush and you try to blend the colors. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that too much with the collage paper, but overlapping it is a really beautiful way to try and blend those colors. And I would not rush the process. Really enjoy it. It's very therapeutic. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Again, fill up the whole entire page. It's going to get really thick, very, strong because you're adding paper on top of paper with glue, making it even extra sturdy. But it's going to be so beautiful once you are done. So what we just did was created our own paper, our own collage paper, so that we can do the next step. So now you're going to need a pencil because we are going to be tracing our shapes. Well, more like outlining. If you want to trace, you definitely can do so. And so I am making a vase, and you can make whatever you want. But if you want to make a vase, continue following these steps. And so we have this sheet of paper, we have a lot of space, and we want to kind of savor that space as well. So if you're going to be making your flowers, your stems, whatever, when you space it out like this, you might be wasting paper. And so I want to show you that I would encourage you to cut close. So I would erase those and then make it closest to the edge so you don't have so much space in between. I mean, of course, you can use that still, but I would like to try and save as much, paper before that. So your flowers do not have to be perfect. They can be wonky, they can be quirky, they can be loopy, they can be whatever you want. And you can see here, I was like, you know what? I'm wasting paper. So you're going to see me recut and redraw a lot of these shapes because I didn't want to waste that paper. And so I made my vase closest to the edge. And I made it a little smaller as well. And so the flowers and the stems and the leaves, I'm not even going to cut stems. I'm going to show you what I do with my stems in a little bit. And so even with those shapes, I was like, I don't really want those ones in particular. So I just allowed myself to just cut whatever was on my mind. And so if you feel the urge to just freestyle it. Remember, we are not about perfection. We are all about the process and creation and enjoying it. And feel free to add more shapes or don't even cut all the shapes out. It's all your work and whatever comes to your heart in your artwork. Now, I will say it is a challenge cutting this piece of paper because it's not really just a piece of paper. It's a lot of papers stuck together. So having a sharp knife and a strong hand is definitely needed to cut this paper. It's really thick, you guys. All right, and we're going to speed this up even more. I mean, I guess I don't have to talk faster, but here we are with our shapes, and we are just going to organize it to see what I like. And so you want to play around with this. It can be any kind of way. And you see, I grabbed my pen. I made those stems. I wanted to add a little more pop, right? I love pen. And so I wanted my pages to not be so perfect either. So I decided to tear it. And there is the final project. I put in inspiring words and verses and quotes so that when I look at it, I am always feeling inspired and encouraged. Now, if you decide to make this, let me know. Tag me on Instagram. Happy creating.